Welcome to AshTechWisdom for your weekly dose of political adrenaline. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let's get it. AshTech here, and we're tackling the most explosive headlines from October 7th to 15th, 2024. From the anniversary of the Hamas attack on Israel to the humanitarian crisis in Gaza and North Korean troops in Ukraine like geopolitical whack-a-mole. Grab your helmet and antacids because we're unpacking a week of intense news. Let's do this. A year ago, the world watched in horror as Hamas launched a surprise attack on Israel. Israel marked the anniversary with somber ceremonies, remembering the lives tragically cut short. Gaza now lies in ruins, a testament to the devastating toll of conflict. The anniversary is a call for renewed commitment to peace. Imagine a place where over half the homes are rubble, where businesses are shattered, schools are unusable, and the air is thick with the dust of destroyed lives. That's Gaza, 1 year after the conflict began. Over 37 million metric tons of debris litter the streets, enough to build a small mountain range. The international community can't just stand by and watch. They desperately need immediate aid, long-term reconstruction efforts, and a commitment to breaking the cycle of violence. Just as the anniversary of the Hamas attack was passing, the Israel-Hezbollah conflict decided to kick off its own gruesome party. On October 13th, a Hezbollah drone strike slammed into Binyamin Givat Ada, Israel, killing 4 Israeli soldiers and injuring 61 others. This wasn't just another attack, it was a deliberate escalation, a poke in the eye of a region already on edge. The message was clear. Hezbollah is here, they're armed, and they're not afraid to use it. This latest attack raises fears of a wider conflict that nobody in their right mind wants. In the wake of the Hezbollah drone strike, the U.S. has sent a big, beautiful THAAD missile defense system to Israel. THAAD stands for Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, and it's basically the Iron Dome's bigger cousin. The big question now is, will this deter further attacks or embolden the other side? Just when you thought things couldn't get any worse in Gaza, they did. On October 10th, Israeli airstrikes hit a school sheltering displaced people, killing 28 and injuring 54, full of families who had already lost everything. Israel claims the school was used by Hamas to store weapons. The answer is a resounding no. This incident underscores the brutal reality of this conflict. Germany, with its complex history, sends a care package of weapons to Israel. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz confirmed on October 9th that Germany will continue to supply Israel with weapons. We have delivered arms, and we will deliver arms, Scholz stated at a special parliamentary session to commemorate the first anniversary of Hamas's October 7th attack. Germany claims these are purely defensive to help Israel protect itself. Critics argue this escalates an already volatile situation. Outrage and protests question Germany's commitment to peace. Israel Defense Forces, IDF, targeted and fired on UN peacekeepers in Lebanon early Thursday morning, according to UNIFIL, the mission operating along the Security Council mandated blue line of separation between the two countries, which they patrol. Israel claims the attack was an accident, mistaking the UN positions for Hezbollah targets. But let's be real, folks. This isn't their first rodeo. This incident highlights the dangerous reality on the ground for UN peacekeepers, who are increasingly caught in the crossfire of this complex conflict. It also raises serious questions about Israel's commitment to international law and the safety of those trying to bring an end to the violence. The bustling streets of Beirut were transformed into chaos as Israeli airstrikes killed at least 22 people. This was a brutal attack on a civilian area. Israel claims they targeted Hezbollah, but eyewitnesses describe indiscriminate bombing. This attack raises fears of a wider war in the region. Just days after Israeli airstrikes on Beirut, Hezbollah retaliated with a drone attack on Binyamina Givat Ada, Israel, killing 4 Israeli soldiers and injuring 61 others. Now, the drone strike sent shockwaves through Israel, raising fears of a wider conflict. Hold on to your hats, folks, because things in Ukraine just got a whole lot weirder. Zelensky claims North Korean troops are now in Ukraine, fighting alongside Russian forces. Yes, you heard that right. North Korea is now apparently a player in the Ukraine conflict. This bizarre claim could have major implications for the conflict. In a move that can only be described as savage financial shade, the World Bank has decided to help Ukraine with its cash flow problem. They've approved a new financial fund, funded by frozen Russian assets. The World Bank is taking money from Russia's rainy day fund and giving it to Ukraine. This $50 billion loan is a lifeline for Ukraine, providing funds to rebuild infrastructure and support its economy. It's a clear message to Russia. The world is watching. While the world focuses on Ukraine and the Middle East, a brutal civil war rages in Sudan. This week, the Sudanese armed forces launched an airstrike on a crowded marketplace in Khartoum. They claim they were targeting RSF positions, but bombing a crowded market's never justified. Civilians are often caught in the crossfire, and human rights abuses are rampant. In news that will likely elicit a collective meh from most of the world, Macau has a new chief executive. Sam Hu-Fai has taken over the reins from Ho Yat-seng, but don't expect any major shakeups in the world's biggest gambling hub. Hu-Fai is a Beijing loyalist, which means Macau will continue to toe the line set by the Chinese Communist Party. Don't expect any sudden bursts of democracy or freedom of speech. Macau will remain firmly under Beijing's thumb. So, congrats to Sam Hu-Fai, we guess. SpaceX successfully launched and landed its Starship spacecraft for the 5th time. The rocket booster played a game of catch me if you can with the launch tower, and catch it they did. The booster landed perfectly in the arms of the launch tower. This test flight is a major milestone for SpaceX's Mars plans. That's a wrap for this week's explosive headlines. We've covered the somber anniversary of the Hamas attack on Israel, the ongoing humanitarian crisis in Gaza, and the escalating conflict between Israel and Hezbollah. It's been a week of highs and lows, triumphs and tragedies. Stay informed, engage in dialogue, and demand better. See you next time.